Today we are joined by Steve Bayonne. Y'all know who that is. And we got Professor D in the building.
Hey,
Y'all see the background? Listen, we're men of our word. She official. She big official now. All right. So look, guys, today she's gonna rock y'all socks off. She's bringing some super important information to you guys, and this is valuable for each and every single one of you guys out there. We also have a YouTube world out there. Y'all joining us today. We greatly appreciate y'all. Listen, this 30-day mental detox is a game changer. I'm not gonna over talk it. Professor D, listen, you got the floor. It's all yours. Rock them out.
good evening, everyone. I wish I could see all of your faces. I know I probably eventually will, but I see your soul. And here we are, soul to soul. I just want to start off by saying thank you, Steve, for believing in your girl. Thank you for following that energy. Thank you for tapping in. And the biggest thing also, I want to salute all of the people who are here who believed in themselves, who took the chance, who sowed the seed to be a part of something so grand. And this thing is so huge that I'll share a little bit of my story. When I was teaching at Central State University, for 10 years, I poured into the students. But what they didn't know is I was also a student. I was learning, I was being enlightened, I was evolving. And as I was teaching, I would get downloads and they would come to me. And as those downloads would come to me, I would give. So as they pressed, I would give. As they squeezed, I would give. As I was uncomfortable, I still would give. And in my giving, I was getting, I was receiving. So much so during COVID, I knew I needed to leave. I was teaching online, and I ended up in, long story short, ended up in Florida after COVID, and I didn't know what I was going to do because I knew I needed to leave that university. I didn't know how though. And I got the call from my chair of my department, and she said, "We can't bring you back because we don't have enough students. Our enrollment is down." So I was excited, like, okay, I'm not letting her down. But where am I going to go? What am I going to do? But after that 10 years, I didn't give a fuck. Why? Because I had been doing the work. I had been consistent in doing the work, changing my thoughts, changing my surroundings, the people who I was hanging with, changing the way I was having my conversations with certain people, cutting people off. All of those things led to don't worry about it. Okay. Fast forward 5 years later. This is the don't worry about it. This is the don't worry about it. I didn't know how. I didn't know how I was going to get back into the classroom. I didn't know if I was going to be at another university, but I knew that I had evolved out of the system. I had decided to break the system, break free from a system who only wanted to control and wanted to minimize the minds of its learners. And I'm talking about universities. And I got degrees, and I just still knew that it was not it. And so in this moment right now, I am so grateful that I did do the work. I'm grateful that I'm still doing the work. I'm grateful that the universal mind is so huge that it knew that you would be here right now on this day, at this time, in this season. So before I could even go any further on what a thought is, I got to let you know that you did this. You manifested this class. You manifested this lesson. This ain't just something Steve and Champ and I thought up. Now, mind you, we did have some thoughts, because if that was the case, Steve, Champ, and I could have just had a conference call. But what's bigger than that is that you thought this up. that you're tired of thinking negative, that you're tired of the corruption, you're tired of doubt, you're tired of fear, you're tired of lack, you're tired of being downtrodden and depressed. You're tired of winning and losing and winning and losing and not understanding the losses are just lessons. You're tired of that. You. If there's anything wrong with you, you did it to yourself. So if there's anything right with you, you can also do it to yourself. That's what this is about. And I'm just gonna pause right there. So ask yourself, did I do this? Yeah, you did. Because we are let me say it like this, we are an individuation of the Most High. And I'm not going into all that, like, oh, don't go into the religion. No, I'm going right where I need to go. Okay. We are an individuation of the Most High. So that means the Alpha and Omega, the source, the source. I'm talking about the source. I'm not talking about, no, I'm talking about the Most High, the source. Okay. So that means that you were already supposed to be here. That means that you were purposed for such a time as this. That means that those thoughts that you're having that you're not supposed to be, those thoughts that you're having that you are less than, those thoughts that you're having that nobody in my family ever did that. Well, I'm just supposed to have diabetes because everybody in my family got sugar anyway. Nah, I ain't talking. I'm talking about the Most High that wants you to be healthy and wants you to prosper. The one that wants you to be in good health. The one that wants you to win. The one that wants the light shedding not just to you and on you, but through you. That's how big this is. I'm just here as a reminder. I'm reminding you of what you came here for. It's not about, oh, well, I'm 40 and I'm 45. Well, I'm a mother of three. I'm a CEO of my company. No, we ain't talking about that. We talking about the one that's here on a mission, on a soul mission. So you can't think like everybody else. You can't fear like everybody else. You can't doubt like everybody else. You can't be defeated like everybody else. Not being a member of the great I am's family. That part. So I'm going to ask this question to you. Do you remember when you started thinking? Who remembers when they started thinking? Do you remember sitting down and being an observer of you thinking about something? How old were you? Do you remember sitting thinking about which toy I wanted to play with? Do you remember sitting thinking about, am I going to take this cookie out the cookie jar? Do you remember that? Do you remember asking your mom about Santa Claus? Do you remember deciding if you're going to put a tooth under your pillow and just hope that you would get something in return? Do you remember that? I want everybody to go just to see if you can go back and find that place because it's really hard to go find that initial place because you forgot. You forgot. And one of the greatest reasons you forgot is because you have so many other people's thoughts imposed upon you. Since you were here, when your mother had you in her womb, there were thoughts impressed upon you. There were thoughts impressed upon you before it was even determined if you would be a boy or a girl. We're talking about before the 4 month mark, before the 16 weeks. People were already speaking over you. And so when you finally arrived, the doctors, the nurses, your parents, your family, your siblings, your grandparents, everybody had something to say. But when did you start having something to say? Do you remember? You don't remember that. But your subconscious remembers. Your subconscious does not forget anything. Your subconscious mind controls 95% of your behavior. There's things you are doing and you don't even remember you did it because your subconscious did it. Your subconscious has driven you home after work and you don't even remember how you got into the driveway. Your subconscious mind has turned things on by habit and you didn't even remember doing it. So let's go back. What is in that subconscious? What and when did it start? When did I start thinking these things about myself? When did I start thinking these things about life? Who imposed their thoughts on me? Well, we have to go back to the programming because most of us are still operating in programming that is not ours. What your parents taught you, what school taught you, what church taught you, what your friends taught you, what the government taught you. Everybody has played a role in the way that you think right now. So I can't just ask you, what do you think about? I can ask you, what are your thoughts about? And then you can give me your answer. But is it your answer or is it somebody else's answer? I can't just say I'm about to put you on a 30-day mental detox and you don't even know what you're detoxing from. What are we detoxing from? So the challenge really is, are you willing to clear the slate? Are you really willing to get rid of those parasites that have been stealing your joy and your peace, even if it is something your mama taught you? Are you willing? This is really the challenge. Now we can get to the other part and the strategies and how we're going to do it. The challenge is, are you really willing to put down that one Sunday school lesson that has been in the back of your mind this whole time and has not taken you anywhere, has not made you free? Are you really willing? Are you willing? Ask yourself. I pause. Are you willing? Okay, we got some yeses. We got some yeses. Okay, we got some yeses. With that being said, with this, I'm gonna break it down like this. The downloads. We got downloads. We got downloads coming in, right, from all over. We accept, we reject, we accept, we reject, we accept, we reject. Well, there's some downloads that we don't really know are there, and they don't come out until something happens. And so now it's not just about the experience, it's about how we react to the experience. So every time this type of experience happens, we have a reaction to it. But that's in your subconscious. So consciously, my active awareness right now, I am conscious. I am looking, I see some of the screens here. I see the screen in front of me. I'm conscious. I can actually have peripheral vision. I can look. There's my door. There's a window. All right, active. I'm active here. I'm active. But my subconscious, I don't, I don't see. 5% of your mind is conscious, but 95% is subconscious. Let's talk about the subconscious for a minute. I don't even know if you guys are taking notes, but if you're taking notes, it'd be a good time to do it right now. So our conscious mind is our active awareness, is our surroundings, our decisions, our focus, what you're thinking and perceiving right now. Like right now, that's your conscious mind, what you're thinking and perceiving. If you're grabbing a pen, if you're looking for paper, if you're deciding on where you're going to put your notes at, you're thinking about that right now. That's conscious. Okay. All right. Now let's go here. Subconscious mind is your beliefs, your emotions, your childhood experiences, your conditioning, your programming, your habits, your routines, things that you're doing and not realize that you're doing it. And that's controlling 95% of your behavior. And so you have to search and you have to ask yourself, what is that that's controlling me? What's in my subconscious mind? What's in my memories? Well, we prayed before every meal when I was a child. So probably now, even at 35, even at 55, you're probably still saying that same raggedy prayer. Uh-oh, she said it. Is it working? That same prayer. Are you asking for the impurities to be taken out of your food? Are you asking for those things that are not good in your food to relieve itself out of your body? Have you changed your prayer? No, because you're programmed. You say that same programmed prayer. The same way you used to save money. Do you still save money the same way? Do you still have that envelope? Do you still have that savings account? Do you still do it the same way? That's a programming that maybe somebody had taught you. Is it working for you? And that's where we are right now. Are these programs that's in our subconscious mind, are they working for us? Some of you are saying, well, men ain't no good. They gonna cheat. I don't even know if I want a man. And then when you finally do say you want a man, you get a man and he cheat on you. That's because you already thought that. You thought that up. Yeah. You thought he was gonna cheat, so he cheated. That's what happened. And so we have our higher consciousness, our you probably hear it as super consciousness. That's that level all the way up here. Okay. That's your spiritual insight. That's your intuition. That's that voice that tells you don't go over there because that's not gonna serve you well. That's when you sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up and you sit down and you meditate and you get your answer. That's that point where that higher wisdom comes in. That's when that creative inspiration comes in where you people are like, how did you think of that idea? Like, how did you write that song? That's that creative inspiration. That's the super conscious, that's the higher consciousness. Okay. And so what happens sometimes is consciously I want to do it, but subconsciously, I've already told myself that I ain't shit. Subconsciously in my memory, my family, they said ain't nobody ever gonna make no money in our family. And I'll give you an example on how sometimes we just don't know that. I might have mentioned, I mentioned in the other call about how my grandfather, my great grandfather couldn't read or write, so he had land stolen from him. So why would I be surprised if years later I had a foreclosure on a house? That's land being stolen from me. See, it runs pretty deep. Sometimes we think it's just us. No, we have things that our ancestors have fought and that we are still fighting. But because you are here right now in this time, you do not have to have that same fight anymore. You don't have to fight no more because we have access to too much information. We have access to education. We have access to knowledge. And now what we're going to do is get that understanding. We good? We good? Y'all hearing me? Is we here? Somebody just say, I'm here with you. Because what's happening is, and this is the download I got today, is that it's funny. We were thinking about the name of the course, and I told Steve, I was like, man, I've been thinking of unfuck your mind. Remember that, Steve? I
Yep.
said that might be a little too raw. But then I thought about it. I said, mind fuck. Now I'm gonna read something to y'all real quick, just because I want to do this. If you've never heard the slang mind fuck is when something that's mentally overwhelming, confusing, or deeply unsettling, often because it challenges your beliefs, perceptions, or understanding of reality. Mentally overwhelming, confusing, or deeply unsettling, often because it challenges your beliefs, perceptions, or understanding of reality. And so you can see these in different ways. It has let's think of a psychological effect that you had. Let's say if you saw a movie and you was like, oh my God, that just did something all the way to me. Your conscious mind is thinking about that, right? We can look at emotional manipulation. Sometimes when somebody is playing a trick on you, see, you have been mindfucked because people have been playing tricks on you. They've been telling you that you can't do something because of your gender, because of the color of your skin, because of the age. You really got fucked up. And the last part is that spiritual awakening. When it hits you like, oh my gosh, like you really got the intuitively, your mind is not what you thought it was anymore. You literally lost your mind. and you got fucked up. So when all of these things are happening to you and you just take a pause and you really look at all the people who have lied to you about who you were and how all of those lies have built each other one level upon another level to a point where you actually believe them. You actually believe them. So, what do you think you're thinking about? Oh, I need a new job. I want to get that job. Okay, so I want to get that job. Okay, y'all, I apply for this job. And everybody's like, oh, I pray you get it. They can pray all they want, but if you're not convinced, if there is no conviction in you, you ain't getting that job. That's where we are now with the thought and with the conviction. You can have the thought, but what are you convinced of? What is the conviction? Because that is what makes reality. The thought and the faith, the conviction, that's what makes the reality. Now, you might want that job, but you're convinced that you're not qualified. You're convinced that you don't have the education. You're convinced that they ain't never gave it to no black woman before. So do you think you're going to get that job? It's one thing we always remember. Oh, I hope I pass this test. Now, this is the thing. Going to school, everybody hope they pass the test, knowing they didn't study. I hope I pass that test. All you're doing is wishing. But then the student that says, oh, I'm going to pass this test. I know I'm going to pass this test. They see themselves getting an A on this test. Or because they said they're going to pass the test and they never said it was going to be an A, they got a D, but they passed that test. And that's why it's important to talk about faith. We talked about thoughts, all of these different thoughts that are overwhelming you. Um, Research shows that there's 50,000 to 70,000 thoughts coming through your mind. You're having hundreds of thoughts per second coming through your mind every day, every second, every second. 95% of them are repetitive. That means you're thinking these same thoughts every single day in and day out. You're thinking the same thoughts. I don't have enough money. I'm fat. I'm overweight. I'm sick. My house is, I don't like my house. Everything that you're thinking, so this is why you're still in the same situation because you're thinking it every single day. 70% of those thoughts are negative. So out of everything that you're thinking every single day, the majority of it is negative. And it's just not you, it's the people you hang with. Everybody is not vibrating on the frequency that you vibrating on, but you still trying to kick it with them. How does that work? If you're in this group, Skyton Academy, okay, and you all are talking about advancing and increasing and prosperity and buying real estate and buying land, but as soon as you get off this call, you get on the phone and start gossiping with your girlfriend. As soon as you get off this call, you get off and go talk to your dude talking about where the bitch is at. How does that work for you? How does that work for you? And you're wondering why nothing is consistent, nothing is happening for me because you keep up and down, up and down, up and down. The mission is to be in position. You might have missed that one, cuh. You missed that, cuh, because you was right there, right? But you dipped down. Dang. Start over. Take another lap. You hear me talk about the children of Israel. They said it was an 11-day trip. It took 40 years. 40 years because you're going to get this lesson. Because guess why? Because that's what you came here for. So you're going to get this lesson. Do you want to get it now or do you want to get it later? Where we at with time, champ? We good? We going there?
Cook,
We good?
cook, cook. The stove is on. Cast iron skillet is ready. Keep cooking.
All right, all right. So I want to talk to you about this conviction again, okay? Let's talk about conviction. Because I'm gonna go back to what I said in the very beginning. In the very beginning, I talked about how you are a part of this great big plan and that all you need to do is come here and express the greatness of the great big God. That's all you need to do. But you got to change your thoughts to do that because you can't be defeated and think that everything is not working out for your good and expect everything to work out for your good. There must be a conviction. And the reason why there must be a conviction is because your conscious mind is suggesting to your subconscious mind, hey, we want to buy a house and it costs $250,000. And I know I don't got it right now, but I know I can get this house because I really believe it. So the subconscious mind that's sitting here is like, okay, how we going to do this? But really, the subconscious mind is waiting for you to be convinced on we ain't got to worry about the how. All we got to do is believe it. So once you present this thought from the conscious mind, you present this thought to the subconscious mind every day, every day. You see it, you meditate on it. Anything that does not resonate with that thought, reject it. Anything that does not resonate with that thought, refuse it. Anything that does not resonate with that thought, cancel it. Even if you said it with your mouth, if you said, man, maybe I ain't gonna get this house, cancel, cut, delete immediately. Because what happens is, champ, I'm ready for that clip. What happens is if you're vibrating so high and we get this new house, you got a picture of it, you've already decided on the furniture, you didn't even get approved for the loan yet, but you've already decided that this is your new house. And in that one moment of weakness, when the first bank denied you, maybe we ain't gonna get it. How long you gonna sit right here in this maybe we ain't gonna get it? Before a sponsoring thought comes along and agrees with you. I want to go ahead and bring up this. I want you to hear this neuroscientist talking about how if you hold a thought for 17 seconds, there's another sponsoring thought that's going to come to either support it in your goodness or something that's not going to be good. Go ahead.
There's a law in physics that basically says that when you have energy that is vibrating at a particular frequency, within 17 seconds, other energy like that will be attracted to it. So if I'm having a positive thought or a negative thought, then what happens is that energy is attracted to it. I have other thoughts that are like that thought. So if you do that 17 seconds, 17 seconds, 17, for 68 seconds, then momentum begins to occur. Let's say that I'm normally, all of our emotions have a frequency to them. So if I'm in despair or anger or worry, all of those are lower, denser frequencies. You get into things like contentment, happiness, joy, love. Those are higher, faster frequencies. So let's say that I normally live in contentment. And that's my set point, because that's where I live. I think about that all the time. That's what my makeup is, that sort of thing. So I'm driving down the highway. All of a sudden, a car cuts me off and I get angry. So now I'm in the lower, denser frequencies. And so then I go back to the office and I'm telling all my colleagues, here's what happened. This knucklehead cut me off. Go home, tell my wife that. What am I doing? I'm vibrating angry energy. So I go to the supermarket and there is somebody in line. I have 3 items and I'm getting in line and somebody ahead of me has 38 items. And the guy that's running the cash register, it's his first day and he's not doing very well. He's very slow. Is that a coincidence? No, it's something for me to get angry about. So I'm attracting into my world whatever it is that I'm vibrating. There's a law in physics that basically says.
So let me summarize that. If you have a vibration that you're on, a vibe. You're on that vibe, right? It's important that you work to stay there. Like you really got to work to stay there because it's so many negative things out here that will overtake you. And so 17 seconds, it doesn't seem like a long time, but it's long enough for you to think on something where if I think it long enough, it's going to find a sponsoring thought to support it. And before you know it, either you are going to stay at the vibration that you want to be in, or you'll vibrate higher. Or if it's negative, you will begin to vibrate lower. And you can bring up that vibrational chart so we can understand what that means. All right, so we talk about the vibe all the time, the vibe. We're vibrating at different frequencies, and we know the highest frequency is love. But if you look at the lower frequencies, there's shame, there's guilt, apathy, grief, fear. All those things are very low vibrational frequency. So let's go back to the house. You say you're buying a house, you believe you're buying a house, you're looking at furniture, you got denied by one bank. You can't just slide down to the fear. You got to stay up. You got to stay up at the joy and the love. You got to stay up at the acceptance. Because if you allow that one negative thought, or if somebody tells you, oh, why you want that house? That house is too big for y'all. See, before you know it, you done slip down. And that is not what you want. And this is why we have to do this every single day. We're going to go over some strategies that's going to keep you vibrating high, even when you feel like you want to slide down this chart. And a lot of times we slide down this chart is because of the things that we are attached to. We have these attachments. You can't wait to tell your family about it, but when have they ever been happy for you? Has anybody in your family ever bought a house? You have these attachments to your friends. Oh, I want my house to be like my friend's house. So maybe if I can tell them I'm getting this house, then they'll respect me differently. No, you need to be quiet. You need to sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. And you need to meditate and sit in the fact that you already have the house, that it is finished. You can take that down. Thank you. You know, I think what's interesting is most people who have some sort of connection to church or spirituality, we all know about faith. And we've been taught that faith is a substance of things hoped for and the evidence of things not seen. Anything that we really wanted in life, we didn't see it. It wasn't there in front of us, but we saw it through vision. And it's important to give yourself some grace if you don't always believe. You got to show yourself some grace because it takes a lot to see a vision through. But the key is that you consistently work at it every single day, even if it's just keeping it in front of you. The biggest battle we have is in the mind. And so with this 30-day mental detox, you are going to have to get rid of a lot of things, not just a lot of things as far as your thoughts, but there are some things that you may have to eliminate from your life. You may not be able to talk to certain people for the next 30 days. You may not be able to be on social media for the next 30 days. You may have to start a whole new account. That's your shadow account that you're only going to follow those people who are positive if you feel like that's a connection that you need to have. Some of you may not even be able to go to church on Sunday.
What?
Yeah.
Repeat that again.
Some of you may not even be able to go to church on Sunday.
Why?
Because sometimes that's a negative place for some people. And if I'm talking to you, I'm talking to you. You know exactly who you are I'm talking to. Church has been a negative place for you. You have not found peace at your church. I literally just got that dropped to me, and I have no idea who it is, but I'm going to be obedient and tell you. So, in saying that, I can go on and on about your thoughts. I can go on and on about how you can change your thoughts with your life, but let's really talk about how you do that. And I'm going to go ahead and bring up some strategies for you. And oh, who is that? There is something going on. Oh my gosh.
That download.
You don't even have to say it, but it's like put me on thick pause real quick. Woo, 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 woo. When I get those, I have to pause for real because I don't play with those messages. I don't play with those messages. Okay. I don't play with those messages. So, Steve, champ,
Talk to us.
let's get through what's gonna happen for these next 30 days.
All right, let's talk about it.
Let's get through what's gonna happen in these next 30 days. Okay. So you got to remember that changing your thoughts from positive to from negative. See, I ball. Woo. Changing your thoughts from negative to positive, you have to be consistent. So you got to remember, however old you are, that's how long your programming has been running in your background. And there are some things that you thought that you could do, but you ended up not doing them because you didn't understand, like, why can't I do that? Why is this not happening for me? It's because you have some things in your subconscious that is working against you. And so the key is to get it to work for you. Okay. There's some things in your memories, in your childhood experiences, there's some programming that you had no control over at the time. And so now what we want to do is we want to bring those things to light. And so that's why in the daily journaling, there's going to be some triggers, or I shouldn't say no triggers, but there's some prompts that you'll be responding to that will actually kind of give you some answers as to why or why not you have not achieved something. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at some of the strategies. The biggest thing is that we have to delete those negative messages that are coming to you every day. Those negative thoughts coming to you every day. Now, right now, you may not even think about it. You might be like, well, I don't really know if I think negative. I'm a pretty positive person. But what does positivity look like? Does it mean that it's actually serving your higher self? Don't forget, creatively inspired. You're being creatively inspired. Your intuition is working for you. Are you actually able to tap into those things? Or have you allowed different thoughts to kind of limit you and to kind of deduce who you are as a person? As soon as that thought comes, you have to, this is one of the ways I had to do it, is to think that it was a lie. You lying. You know, you tell somebody they lying. Like if somebody is talking to you about something, you're like, you lying. Because you just don't believe it. So as soon as those thoughts come to you, you have to arrest them as if it's somebody telling you lying because it's a lying thought, right? Okay. The next one is only choose thoughts and ideas that are constructive, productive, and positive. Anything that's coming to you that is constructive, productive, and positive, you keep that thing. And that's where you're going to find sponsoring thoughts to support it. Okay. Don't forget, you're literally reprogramming your mind. Like this is not to be taken lightly. You literally, every day, from the time you wake up in the morning, you're going to be reprogramming your mind. It's a reset every day. So if you did not do well on the day before, show yourself some grace, forgive yourself, and let's start back over the next day. Okay. Should I be checking are we checking some of these comments right now, or are we going to wait for those?
Nah, I'm monitoring them.
Okay, very good. Very good. All right. Now, I want to go back to this being a conscious choice. Remember, your conscious mind is active. It's aware. It's here right now. You have to make a conscious choice every moment. Every moment. Every moment. A conscious choice. You have to literally stop yourself when you're talking about something that's negative. You have to remove yourself if it's a thick conversation about something that's negative or not productive. This is what you'll be doing, okay? You have to purposely plant positive seeds in the garden of your subconscious mind. So any childhood experience that comes up, any memory, any habit that is not working for your good, you have to replace it with something positive, okay? I'll give you something. We'll go over the examples later. One of the biggest things is don't give anybody the power to destroy what you're doing. This detox is necessary. If you think about how you've gone through a physical detox before, and maybe you were only doing liquids, you were doing a fast, and you smelled those McDonald's fries, or you smelled that fried chicken, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. This is very serious. You are going through a mental detox, and you cannot give anything the power to minimize what you're doing. I'm going to say it again. This is very, very important. The fact that you are here and that you are hearing this right now, whatever you are about to do in your life, this is necessary. It's necessary for where you're going. You might think you on top today, but tomorrow, if you don't take these tools, how are you going to stay vibrating on top? These are the tools that are going to enable you to do that, okay? It's funny because, when people they talk about Jesus a lot, because Jesus was always talking to people about their mind. As you believe, so shall it be done unto you. Greater works will thou do than these. Here's the light. I'm passing the light to you. Receive the light. I do as I see my Father do. The great big God, not the one you thinking about, not the one that you think left you, not the one that you think meant for evil. No. That's why it only takes a little mustard seed faith, just a little bit. Just a little bit. You can do this. I'll give you a story. I'm going to give you a recent story, because I don't think y'all believe me. I think y'all think I'm just some big hype over here. She can't be like that all the time. Well, you're fucking right. You're fucking right. Okay? Be real with you. The more you want to evolve, the higher you want to go, watch what comes. It's coming for you. But you can't get scared now. No, you can't get scared now. You're here now. But guess what? You're not alone. You are not by yourself. In the last few months, I've had to not just sit the fuck down, but lay the fuck down. And when I mean by that, I wasn't sick. I just was like, this is stupid. You ever just looked at life and said, this is stupid? Outside of my children, outside of loving my family, all of this is stupid. I don't want to do this no more. It wasn't suicidal thoughts. People try to back away from, I wasn't trying to commit suicide. No, I wasn't going to do that now. But I ain't want to do this no more. I ain't want to do this. This is stupid, because they don't want to change. Don't matter what they want. You change. You be the change you want to see. And the way you get kind of bullied into doing it, it feels different every time. And when I say just get in that isolation, it's to protect you. It's to protect you. It may seem like it's dark, but it's to protect you. You are the light. And when you are the light, you won't know you're the light unless you're around darkness. So when you get into that little cubby space where it seems like you are depressed, no, you're just in deep rest because you don't want to play that role no more. You don't want to do it the way everybody else is doing it anymore. But you got to be patient. I thought that space was never going to end for me. But I just kept doing the work. I just kept meditating. I kept putting my feet in the grass and grounding. I kept making sure I was connected to good energy. I made sure I took my ass to sleep when I needed to go to sleep because the longer I stayed awake, the more I saw that I didn't want to do this no more. I got rest. I unplugged for some things and some people that just were not serving my highest self. And you know what's so wild is after I did that, these people found me. I was there the whole time. I was there the whole time, but they found me. That's why I'm able to sit here and be all like I am, like a Thundercat. I am her because I've been working in the shadows. I've been undoing, unlearning some of these programs that these motherfuckers done put on me. They're lies. They're an illusion. They're not real. And the systems that have been in place have been making them appear real for too long. And that's why I'm on here. If I got to kick, scream, cry, curse to get you to hear this message, then that's what I have to do because you know why? That's what I'm here for. That's what I'm here for. Okay. Yeah, that part. So how do we start this 30-day detox? How do we start this 30-day detox? All right, so what you're going to do is you're going to identify, you're going to take 1 to 2 days to identify your thoughts.
Professor D,
Yes.
let me just jump in. Hey guys, you're going to have a slide deck and the actual journal prompts that she's going over right now. So even if you don't take great notes or no notes, like, trust me, it's all laid out in the same order. Yep. So all that's going to be in the portal tomorrow.
Okay. Very good. Very good. All right. So what you're going to do is identify those thoughts, whatever thoughts you're having for the next 2 days. Now, we can't help it. We always have certain thoughts every day. You know what those thoughts are. Okay. First thing in the morning, you already know what those thoughts are, what you got to do, who you got to do it with, why you got to do it, where you got to go. You get on the scale. It's not what you want it to be. You're looking at your cabinets. What am I going to cook today? We ain't never got no food. Oh, I can't stand my husband snoring at night. Oh, I can't stand that man. Maybe we just need to get a divorce. Whatever those thoughts are, you're having them. Okay. So for 1 to 2 days, you're going to identify those thoughts and you're going to write them down. All right. The reason why you need to write them down, because out of all those thoughts that you're having, you need to see which ones keep reoccurring, which ones are negative, which ones do not serve you. All right. Next, you're going to start your day with affirmations. And what you're going to do, they're going to be positive affirmations. So whatever the negative thought that you have, you're going to get out of that frequency. Like we talked about the 17 seconds. We're going to eliminate that and we're going to start off on a positive frequency. So everybody gets to start their day off in a positive manner. So we will give you some suggested affirmations, but I definitely suggest that you find something that works for your situation. You find something that's personalized and that works best for you. Okay. Next, meditation. You're going to meditate. And some people are like, well, I don't know how to do that. And I don't know how to sit there and focus on this and for this. Y'all know what meditation I'm talking about. Huh?
Right.
And I like to keep it simple because, there's a lot of spiritualists and they saying, well, you need to sit and you need to have a pillow and you need to have, the candle lit and look, okay, you'll find it. You know exactly what you need to do. You showed up knowing what you need to do. I'm just reminding you. I'm just reminding you that you know what to do. Okay. Sit down, be quiet.
What's another way? What's another way of saying that?
The other way is sit the fuck down and shut the fuck up. Okay. Stop
Oh, okay.
talking so much. You don't have all the answers yet. Just sit down. If you sit down and shut the fuck up, your subconscious mind, who showed up with the answers, is going to give you the answer. Dang, I ain't know that. I know you didn't because you've been talking too much. Be quiet. Sit down somewhere. The answer is there, okay? It's going to come to you. I promise you it's going to come to you every single time. That was actually step 5. So I just gave you step 5. Sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up. All right. Number 6 is practice OCD. OCD is observation, contemplation, and decisions. Okay. Be OCD. Become the observer. Remember, I asked you when you were a kid, do you remember actually observing yourself, making decisions? Do you remember when you made a decision off of a thought you had? So that's what you're going to start doing. You're going to start becoming the observer. So let's say if you have a meeting at work and you know that you have a coworker that you're not too fond of. When you're in that situation and that coworker says something sideways, I want you, instead of being the person that you've been, I want you to become the observer. Become the observer and think, how would my highest self respond to this person? That's where the contemplation comes in. Then you decide that I am going to be my highest self. OCD, you need to have OCD. Observe, contemplate, and decide. Next is isolation. I talked about that earlier. Until you're strong enough, basically you just need to disconnect. You need to unplug. Some of these TV shows, you don't even need to watch TV shows anymore. Oh, you mad? You mad? You don't want to stop watching them TV shows? You don't want to do that? If you're really about this life, turn that shit off. All right. Once again, remember that you're not alone. And I'm not even talking about having a community here. We'll be holding each other accountable. But one of the things is you got to remember that the big Almighty, the Most High, is right there with you. And it's interesting because I really believe that it's just waiting for us to sit down somewhere and be quiet. So if we can get the directions that we need so we can move forward. Because we need to be moving forward fast. We need to be moving forward fast. We need to be moving forward fast. We waited a long time, but right now it's time to graduate early. They having all these kindergarten graduations and preschool graduations. Come on, y'all. High school graduations, college graduations. It's time for you to graduate. It's time for you to graduate in life right now. And that's why this is hitting you like it's hitting you. I want you to be reminded of the 17-second rule. Just remember that those negative thoughts, you don't want to vibrate more than 17 seconds with them. You're going to have to come up with a safe word. Whenever somebody probably mentions somebody's name to you and you always say that, or you be like that, you might need to come up with another name. You might need to say, oh, super sauce. I don't know what you're going to come up with, but you need to come up with a name or a word that's a safe word for you to keep you from saying that same negative thing that you've been talking about. Okay. I just want to remind you that, changing a certain pattern, changing this programming, it is challenging, but it's doable. And that I believe that you're connected to the right source and that you're also connected to the right resources. And that whatever the top of the hour is and the top of those thoughts are at the top of the hour, you keep them high, and that's where you'll vibrate at. You know, we're not going low no more, y'all. We don't have to. Ain't nobody coming to save us. We gotta save ourselves. And it's gonna start with that first thought. Yep. And I will digress and pause right there.
Yeah, this is it. This is it. Everybody should feel empowered. How y'all feel in the chat?
Yeah, you want to pull up the not the slide presentation, the actual journal, 30-day journal.
Do you want to? Do you saying, do I want to pull it up?
Yeah, I'm asking Champ.
Oh, Champ.
Hold on. It might run super slow because I got all this stuff running.
I
Well,
think
if you say it will, then it will.
Yeah.
You got to
'Cause
redirect that thought, right?
It's
They're
just a
just
little
that quick.
glitchy.
Just
No,
that
that's not a negative thought. That's
No,
an
no,
observation.
I'm just telling you that you might
Yeah.
want to just click it.
All right, let's try it. We glitchy. I'm a little glitchy right now. That's what I'm saying.
Listen, guys, he's gonna glitch. So listen, I'm confident that I'll be fine. I'm gonna open it up.
Accountability.
We just came off the talk.
We gonna see.
Not even a minute after the rules
But
came
you
out.
see how quick, this is how quick it works. Yeah. Dang, Champ.
Y'all not seeing nothing?
It won't work. You've talked it out of existence.
Oh. Shit, it was already happening before I said anything.
So guys, this is a prime example, and this is cool, right? Professor D talked about going for a house and thinking about not getting the mortgage. And listen, I'm going through so much with this project. This couldn't come at a better time, right? The amount of thoughts that come in and out of my head, the questioning of, can I, will I? And I mean, they're so quick, right? Could it totally divert, and I'm good at like reeling it in, but what I'm not good at is controlling them, right? To think that you can train yourself to think all positive at all times as much as possible is just, when we first went over this, I was just like, listen, we have to bring this to the academy. Like, I don't want to wait to deliver this one, right?
Yeah.
This before, just the mental challenge of itself is something I'm looking forward to, because we never put that sort of accountability on ourselves, like to be so intentional about it. Like when she wrote this out and I read it, I was like, I'm in. I need it. And I do a lot and I deliver a lot. But that means there's a lot of negative thoughts that flow through my mind. And I'm guilty of it.
But Steve, what's interesting that you're talking about that. We have to pay attention to the thing that you're doing, the idea that you have, the vision that you have to do the property in Columbia. It's not a small feat. And there's other people that are either vibrating with you or they're vibrating lower than you. And so we have to sometimes you got to protect it. You let the cat out the bag. So it's giving you some good energy to propel you to where you need to go. But you got to remember there is still some negative energy that is not on your team. So those days that you feel like, man, you got to literally and intentionally plug into something greater. Feel me? You really might have to shut something down and really be focused on the greater good. I don't believe that this is not it.
Yeah, that's the detox journal as taken from the.
Let me share the screen, please.
You got it.
Okay. Okay. Everybody can see that? Everybody can see it?
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, so basically there'll be some, you got the affirmation, you have your action step, and then you'll have a journal prompt. So if the first day your affirmation is, I am the master of my thoughts. And then you have to identify 5 negative thoughts today. And which one came up most often. So how do I know that I'm a master of my thoughts unless when those thoughts come up, I don't master them.
Mhm.
So each day you will have an affirmation. And like I said, if the affirmation does not work for you, then you can personalize one that works for you for that day. And we mentioned about, the first 2 days recording those thoughts and basically recognizing some of the thoughts that you've been having. Day 3, I choose positivity today. Sometimes that's just so simple. Don't get caught up on how simple this is. Because just choosing positivity means that all day long, you're being intentional on being positive. From the time you wake up, from the time you get in the car and there's no gas in the car, shoot, I'm gonna be late. See, you already see just that easy. You're taking your thoughts and you're going somewhere else to them. So all we're saying is you need to police yourself every day and arrest those thoughts as soon as they start acting up. Because if not, it's gonna get another thought, which is gonna get another thought, it's gonna get another thought. And before you know it, you done thought your way out of your reality. Something that was just on the other side of the door is pushed further away because you're not vibrating in the place to receive it. We're talking about being in alignment, people. We're talking about being in position to receive the things that you desire in this life. So when we say thoughts become things, that goes both ways. If niggas ain't shit, you always gonna meet niggas that ain't shit, whether it's in business, whether it's in love, no matter where you go.
Mhm.
So okay, this is an example of what we'll be doing. We ain't gonna give you everything. You got to tap in. All right.
So, champ, you feel there's some good questions in there?
Nah, no questions, man. Everybody's just been co-signing, just on point, just champion everything that she's been saying. I ain't get one question.
All right, so we're going to reiterate the slide deck and the 30-day journal with the actionable steps, with examples of affirmations and all that is going to be in the portal tomorrow. We're releasing it. Then we have a channel inside of professional development where we're going to start the conversation to hold each other accountable. Right? Professor D will be in there. I'll be in there. Champ will be in there. Listen, if you got to reset, speak your truth. It'll help somebody else. So similar to every challenge that we had, only this is the longest challenge that we've had as an academy together. So I'm looking forward to it. This gets me back in journaling, which is something that keeps coming up. I have to download and release my thoughts. This gets me back to championing myself because I'm the shit and I don't say it enough to myself.
Yeah.
This gets me out of the negative mindset of all the things that are happening in the economy and how dreadful it looks for the United States. And I don't care. I can't let it affect me like that.
You know,
This,
I,
okay.
one of the things that came to me is we have to stop double checking God. Like we double check God. Like God ain't the God. God ain't the one that said, I got you. I got you guided and directed. I got you. But because we want to control, because our ego gets in the way and wants to edge or exit God out, we get too far in the way and we don't know how to get back and get out of the way and let it go until somebody tell you to sit down and you end up sitting down or you get made to sit down. So we have to stop double checking God.
Wow. And guys, let me give you a belief that I always go against, and I hear it a lot, right? And it sounds great. So the constant is anytime you have an idea, don't share it with the world. right? You ever hear it? And there's different ways of saying it. They make it sound so great. So even with this project here, it's like stay down until you come up. But I'm a firm believer in when you share one, you are the amount of fuel that I get from people, right? Then you have to be careful of the circle because it's one thing to go to people who are always negative that can talk you out of something, but that's just you not even sure of it. So you went to the right person, right? That's the person that you attracted. I always let things off in the universe before they even materialize because they materialized already.
Mhm.
Can that be done? Can I raise that? Do we have the money for that? Like, yes, we do. I ain't got a damn plan in the world sometimes, but it always starts with the thought first. Because if you sit in it by yourself, one, you may not even ask yourself that question, right? And then you never know the feedback that you'll get. So I have voice memos, and this brother's from he lives in Norway, but he just hit me with a memo the other day. He left the United States and it's going back to 2010, and the energy and surge that he gave me in the two voice memos were absolutely incredible. So if I didn't put out the plan, I wouldn't have gotten all this information from people who would have never known this was what I was trying to do. See what I'm saying?
And you can confirm something with them, Steve, that you were convicted of it. So when you had the thought, you didn't put it out when you weren't convicted of it. You might
Yeah,
not have had a plan, but you were convicted of it. You were convinced that this is going to happen.
that's the part.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it starts there. This isn't just one of those like it was floating through. I did the work to get to that point.
Mm-hmm.
Now I just have to get it to the closing table.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's done. It's at the
Done.
closing table.
Right.
Just the ink has to dry.
Yeah.
Oh man, this you don't know how much I needed this.
Yeah.
And I know if I
Oh,
needed it,
hey.
I knew everybody needed it. Yeah. So Professor D is part of the tribe. Um, she's her own brand and entity. We're just holding a space for her because there's not enough room for what she can deliver to the
Mhm.
people. So this is just a stepping stone for her. I'm a
You
student
know,
in our own academy. That's new. Um, I'm excited.
and you know what, Steve and Champ and Skyton family, I'm a writer. And so I'm a writer and researcher. That just comes with the territory. And then also a creative. But one of the things that I was told today was to keep it simple.
Oh man.
We could talk about this for 2 hours, 3 hours. Yes, we could. Yes. But we're too overwhelmed, you guys. We're too overwhelmed with so much from work, family, social media, news. You watching your crypto account, you watching your trades. You need something simple that's going to change your life. And this is simple. When you look at this plan, it's simple. It's laid out simple for a reason. Okay. So don't look too far into it. Everybody can do this. And that's the truth.
So, guys, we're not going to long talk this. We are on YouTube Live. I wanted to open this up to non-members. So we rarely do this. Usually, I like to keep this stuff in-house, but I I couldn't be this selfish with this content here. What you're not going to get is you're not going to get the full plan if you're on YouTube right now. But what you can do is understand that Skyton Academy is not just about the future of finance. We are in position to not only change our financial landscape, but then we have to change our mental outlook, right? Because if both of them aren't aligning, you're just going to bring out the best or the worst in who you are when the wealth comes. And I got some work to do still, right? I've done a lot of work, but I still have some work to do. And I think we always are going to have work to do. So SkytonAcademy.com. If you're new, hopefully you got something out of today. This plan is incredible. And I can't wait to have the back and forth Discord. So all I'm asking you guys to do is stay engaged. Right? You're paying for the membership monthly. This is probably by far one of the most comprehensive plays that we gave you. So if you could execute on crypto and figure out how to plug in those cold storage wallets and then blow into it 3 times and treat it like a Nintendo cartridge, you can definitely do this one. But this one's not easy though. Right? I just know with the support of a community, we can get through this together. And this is just the appetizer to the main course that Professor D's cooking up. We're talking about you could have 6 weeks with her, accountability calls, in person coming up soon, speaking that into existence, possibly Florida. So this is the start of something good, guys.
And you know what, Steve? I'm just believing that there's going to be so many testimonies. Like, I am excited about the testimonies. It's going, I'm telling you, I already know it's going to be so many testimonies
I
for
can't
sure.
wait. I can't wait because you never hold yourself accountable to documenting that part of life,
Yeah.
right? As much as it shows up in our daily plan, we just like skip over it. Then it becomes encoded in us,
Hmm.
good, bad, or indifferent. It just they're all thoughts. So, God, it's priceless. Like if we can truly control our thoughts through action, I'm in.
OCD, 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 observer, contemplate, and decide. That's what you're going to do. Let's go. Let's go.
Take us out, champ. And then we can shut it down and we'll give 10 minutes off camera. So go ahead, champ.
All right. Listen, tonight, Professor D reminded us whoever controls your mind controls your time. And now you guys have just been given the tools to reclaim both. This isn't about perfection, it's about consistency. This is your invitation to take the next 30 days seriously, to detox your mind and discipline your focus. All right. The real you is waiting on it. And so is your breakthrough. Stay locked in, stay elevated. We love you guys. Greatly appreciate you. See you on the next.